Can you see the problem?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why is it showing me something different on my screen? All right. All right, so for this, take out your total volume, which is 1200.
Uh-huh.
Take out your drops per minute, which is 12.
Uh-huh.
And also, you're going to take the 125 mLs per hour because this didn't give you a time.
Yes.
So you had 1,000 mLs, and if you divided that by, I'm sorry, was that right? You had 1,000 mLs on that question?
Well,
I can
this
look
one you
at it.
have 1200.
Okay, you have 1,200 mLs, and it was running at 125 an hour, right? Just go back and look at the question. Yeah, you had 1,200 mLs, and it's running at 125 an hour.
Yeah.
Now, typically on a drops per minute question, we'll say take the total volume over the total time in minutes times the drop factor, which if you had 1,200, you would have had to divide that by the 125 to tell you how long that the infusion was running for. And what'd you get?
9.6.
Okay, so it's running for 9.6 hours. You would take that times 60, and that gives you 576 minutes. So 1,200 over that times it was 15 for the drop factor, right?
12.
And that gave me 25. Okay. Now, really, when you have the problem written like this, where it tells you that the IV is running at 125 an hour, you really don't have to do this part. Okay. Because they already kind of did that for you here. You have 125 mLs. If you put that over 60, because you know it's running over 60 minutes, that's what an hour is, and multiply it by 12, you should get the same
The
answer.
same. Okay. That's what I made a mistake at, Miss Still. I did it this way and I got the 25 and then I second guessed myself and did it the other way and then I got stuck. Okay.
Right.
I think this
So
is
you can
simpler.
do it either way because there's a given in there. But here's the thing, when you're taking the test and you're stressed, you want to stick to the same formulas all the time, because if you change the formula up, you might get it wrong if you miss a component there.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, who else was struggling with what?
Good morning. So the issue I had with the last drug calculation test was the one that it said a client with ventricular septum of the digoxin. And I think
Okay.
what confused me was the fluff towards the end of the question.
It was a digoxin question.
So I don't know if this is what this was an issue. Yes, I had the problem right, but when I read further on to the question where it says the nurse prepares how many micrograms of the digoxin to administer to the client for each dose.
So what happened there?
I went ahead and I don't remember if I divided it by 2.
Do you want to show me the question? I'm trying to get it up on my other computer, but it's not being that cooperative. Do you have access to the question where you can show it?
Let's see. It starts off with
I'm booting up my other computer now so I can try to find the question, but it's on the Geri question, the Geri test, right? Hello?
med-surg 1, the second exam that we just took.
Okay.
Yes, do you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me, Sue?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, it was the med-surg drug cal 2, the second one.
All right. I'm trying to get there.
And I don't remember which question. I mean, I remember the with client with particular sample.
All right. While I'm trying to get there, how about these ones here? Anybody have a problem with the one on the screen?
I don't.
All right. Med-surg 1, dosage calc 2, right?
Yes.
This was a weight-based one, you think?
Um,
No, digoxin. I don't see that on there.
it was weight-based because we had to convert the kilogram, but then when I read further into the question, that's where my mess up was. So I don't remember any of our other questions having this much to read.
You sure it was on Med-surg 1, test 2? Because I don't see that question.
So I think that all that fluff really messed me up.
Well, there's no fluff on the questions. You have to know how to read the questions. I don't see a digoxin question, though, on Med-surg 2, on Med-surg 1.
Yeah, it started off
There's 2 weight-based questions on there. One's on heparin, one's on
with
acyclovir.
a client with ventricular septal defect repair is placed on the order.
You're saying Med-surg 1, test 2, right?
Correct.
For the evening?
Yes.
All right, maybe it's a different test. Let me look at Med-surg 1 math. It's called ERN Med-surg 1 math 2 sum 24. Okay, got it.
Yes, correct. I mean, we got all messed up. It was kind of interesting. It was kind of challenging, but we did it.
Okay, so it says a client with a ventricular septal defect repair is placed on a maintenance dose of digoxin.
Correct. Yes, that one.
The ordered dose is 4 micrograms per kilogram and the weight is 206. Let's go to the whiteboard.
Real quick, Miss Loesch, before you go to
Yes.
whiteboard, the answer for this one is 23.
Let's see. All right, what'd you do?
I did 250 ml divided by 11.
So you have to do 25,000 units divided by 250 because this tells you how many mLs per hour, right?
Yeah.
So you have to calculate how many units are in each ml.
Okay, got it.
So 25,000 divided by 250 is what?
100.
Okay, and then you multiply that times the 11, and you see the answer was 1100.
1100. Okay, got it.
All right.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you should be able to see the question in your history if you got it wrong. And the question says the nurse prepares how many micrograms of digoxin to administer to the client for each dose. Okay, that's what it says. And that is at the very end of the statement. And this is why I try to get you guys, this is where you need to read from. So if you're giving a dose, what is your formula?
Yeah, I don't know, like I tend to do dimensional analysis. I put 4 micrograms over kilograms times it by the 206 pounds.
That's not a formula. What is your formula for giving a dose?
I converted the 206 pounds and gave
Not a
me a total of 93.
formula. Not a formula. What is a formula for giving a dose? If I said you have 500 milligrams of penicillin ordered and on hand you have 250
P
milligrams
over H
tablets,
times Q.
right? That is your formula. See, you guys lack in knowing your formulas, and that hurts you. Okay, so when you're given a dose, your formula is D over H times the vehicle. Okay, the vehicle is going to be your tablet, your mLs, however that medication is coming. And it's so important that you understand that because that's going to tell you how to set up the problem every time if you know that formula. Okay, now this is just asking you about how many micrograms to administer. Okay, so you don't need this and you don't need this because all you're calculating here is a desired dose because it's asking you how many micrograms you're going to give, and that's a dose, right? You follow me?
Yes, you're just very choppy, like you're coming and going. So I can't hear everything you're saying, but I get what you're saying. I just do my math slightly different. I do dimensional analysis. That's all. But the
Okay,
dose
you
is
can do
4
the problem
micrograms.
any way you want. Okay, you can set it up any way you want. The way I set it up isn't going to be the way you set it up. But you have to understand that concept. What are you calculating? So all
So
you're
dose is 4
calculating here
micrograms.
is the desired dose. Now, usually when the physician writes a dose, he'll say, hey, I want you to give 250 milligrams of penicillin 5 times a day, right?
Yes.
Twice a day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with this is he's not telling you how much to give because how much you're going to give is based on the weight so you don't kill the kidneys or the patient. So you know that your patient weighs 206 pounds, right? The first thing you have to do is divide that by
Yes.
2.2
By 2.2. Mm-hmm.
because your order is micrograms per kilogram.
Correct.
Okay. So 206 divided by 2.2 is what? I got 93.636363.
It's 93.63636363.
Now I leave that whole
Correct.
thing in the calculator, and that's what I'm going to multiply by my 4 micrograms per kilogram.
Correct.
Okay, now let's go back and look at the order again. Okay, that gave me 374.54. Okay, micrograms.
Correct. Correct.
Now the order dose is 4 micrograms per kilogram. Okay, So that's my straight dose. If the doctor wanted this dose to be daily, it would say 4 micrograms per kilogram per day, but it doesn't. So this means it's 4 micrograms per kilogram per dose. It doesn't matter how many times a day we're giving it. The only way that would matter is if I said the ordered dose is 4 micrograms per kilogram per day. Let's say that I said that. Okay, if I said that, and this is the answer I got, the 374.54, that's for the entire day. If it said that, but it didn't. So why would that make a difference? Because in your statement, it says that the primary healthcare provider provides the digoxin to be given twice daily. So if the order was written this way per day, and this was my answer, this is a daily dose. So then I would have to divide this by the number of doses per day, which would be 2. But because yours is just an ordered dose, it's not a daily dose. Do you understand?
Okay, all right. So I see what you're saying. It doesn't. Yeah.
That's what
Like
would
the only thing
change
that
it. So let's do one. Let's just do one. Let's
Okay.
say that I ordered 8 micrograms per kilogram per day. You're giving it 3 times a day, and your patient weighs 206 pounds. Okay? Where's my eraser?
Sue, I'm losing you. All I got was 8 micrograms and the 3 times a day. I didn't get anything else in between.
And he weighs 206 pounds.
206 pounds. And
Okay? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 206 and divide it by your
in kilograms. Okay.
2.2. Okay? And again, that gave you the 93.63, and this is kilograms, okay? But it's kilograms for this patient. So now we're going to leave that whole number though in the calculator, okay?
Yeah, I gave you the 93.6.
Okay.
Yes.
So 93.63 times our 8 micrograms per kilogram per day. And what do we get?
8.
So I got 749.09. Now this is micrograms per day because that's how the order is written. All right. And if I'm giving it 3 times a day, now I would divide that by 3. Okay. And that means my client is going to get 200. Let's say we round it to a whole number. He's going to get 250 micrograms per dose. You see the difference?
249. So actually it'll be 250 at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I get it. Okay.
So
okay. So
only,
I did everything
it's
fine with the
going to
math.
tell you in the order when it's ordered. Is it a daily dose? If it doesn't say per day, then it's a single dose. So you would give that single dose the way you did it the first time. You got the what'd you get with the first calculation when you did the 206 divided by the 202, but divided by the 2.2 times 4? What do we get for that answer? You remember?
I got originally 375, but when I read, yeah, for that answer, I originally got the 375, but when I read the question, continue reading, I divided it by 2 because I saw where it says given twice daily.
Okay. So you would give that for each dose, the 375.
And I
Because
put down
that's
in the system
in the
187.
question they asked you for a single dose. They didn't
Correct.
ask you for how much you're given daily.
Correct.
And that's why that was wrong when you divided it. All right, other questions?
So if I wouldn't have divided it, I would have been fine, but unfortunately I divided it.
All right, I'm still on the conversions of the milligrams to kilograms and the weight questions. Can we just go over like two of them?
Okay, so you want to do a weight based.
Yeah, and I know it's like mcgs to mgs. You have to times it by 1,000, divided by, you know, what. And another question I have real quick is, are you going to send us the recorder Zoom? Can
Yep.
you? Thank you.
Where is my weight based? Okay, here we go. Okay, now look at the first problem, because the first problem is similar to that one that we just did. All right. Even though this has, can you see the problem?
Yes.
So even though this has a bunch of stuff in it, again, you always have to go to the bottom. What is the question asking you for? And this is just asking you how many micrograms per minute the patient should receive. So in order to answer that question, the only thing you have to do here is convert the weight and multiply it times the ordered dose, because your ordered dose is micrograms per kilogram per minute, right?
Yes.
It has all that other stuff in it, but you're only using that. So weight is 97 divided by 2.2. Leave the whole number in the calculator. And multiply times your ordered dose, which is 10. And what'd you get?
440.90.
Okay, so it's 440.90 micrograms per minute. That's what you just calculated. Okay, and it's asking you to round it to the whole number. So what would the answer be?
441.
441. Okay, now let's go to the next one.
So my question is though, is that I see like this one, we don't even touch the 250 milligram, I mean the 200 milligrams. Because on the other ones, like we had to convert.
Slow down. Slow down, one step at a time.
Okay.
Here's the next question. What is this question asking you?
Micrograms per, I mean, no, round to the,
mLs.
It's asking you for mLs per hour.
Yeah.
And your calculation is in what? What is your calculation in?
ml per hour.
No, it's in micrograms per minute.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the weight. Your patient's 97 pounds. You're going to divide it by 2.2 and multiply it by the 10. And that's going to give you that long number, that 440.9090, blah, blah, blah. All right. Everybody has their weight written down, 97. What do you have on hand? You have 200 milligrams per 250 mLs. And your order is 10 micrograms per kilogram per minute. I'm going to the whiteboard. This is our kilograms. And then we're going to take that times our ordered dose of 10 micrograms per minute. And now we have 440.90 micrograms per minute. we need to get to mLs per hour. You're going to divide this by 1,000 to convert your micrograms to milligrams. And that should give you 0.440, blah, blah, blah. You're going to multiply that whole thing times 60 because now you got to convert your minutes to hours. That should give you 26.45 milligrams per hour. And that is going to go over what you have on hand, which was 200 milligrams per 250 mLs. Milligrams is going to cross out. And that should leave you with 33.06 mLs per hour. Anybody get something different? Anybody still doing the math? All right, let's see if we're right. Okay, bam. Was everybody able to get there?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go to another one of those ones I want to go to. Okay, let's do this one. I'm not going through the steps this time. Can you see the question? Or you still see the whiteboard?
No, I could see the question.
Okay. So what's the first thing it's asking you for?
5 micrograms per kilogram per minute.
It's not. Why are you reading from the top?
Oh, micrograms per minute.
Thank you. So what's the first thing you're going to calculate here and the only thing you're going to calculate?
The microgram per minute.
Okay.
So I guess we'll convert the pounds to kilograms. So 121 divided by 2.2, which is 55 times 5 is 275.
So that's your answer, right? 275, because all it's asking you for is what?
Micrograms per minute.
Okay, now we're going to go to the next one. And now you're going to calculate what?
The ml per hour.
Okay, so now you'll carry out the rest of those steps.
Yeah, so 275.
Just do it in your head, please, or on your paper so that you don't mess anybody else up that's doing the math.
Is the answer 1.7?
Okay, that's what I got. Was everybody else able to get there?
Yes.
Anybody who couldn't get there?
Answer?
Yeah, 1.7. Now, who was asking me about that one question? You see how this order's written? 3 milligrams per kilogram a day.
Yes.
And it's asking you how many milligrams is the patient receiving per day. So you're going to order that. You're going to answer that differently. It's really key that you understand what the question is asking you. All right, let's do another weight-based one just to make sure you're good with it. Do number 3. You can let me know when you're done. I got the answer. We still doing the math?
I got 46.4.
Okay, good. Was everybody else able to get to 46.4?
Yes.
Can you show me that one? I didn't get what I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Let me try to see it. 10 micrograms.
Come on, whiteboard. All right, so I always start with the weight. As soon as the whiteboard wants to let me work, which was 170 divided by 2.2. That gave me 77.27. That's kilograms. I'm multiplying that whole number times my 10 micrograms. That gave me 772.72 micrograms per minute. I divided that by 1,000 to turn it into milligrams. That gave me 0.772 milligrams per minute. And then I had to convert this to hours, so I multiply both sides by 60. So my 0.7727 blah, blah, blah times 60, which gave me 46.36. Okay. And I had 500 milligrams per 500 ml. So I really don't have to do the math there because that's going to be a wash. Right. And now I round my 46.36 up to 46.4. And that's mLs per hour. You good?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
That was the only one I was having trouble with.
Go to registernurse.com, type in weight-based calculations. She's got a bunch of them on there for free, and you might be able to find some other ones. If you type in nurses labs, weight-based dosage calc.
Thank you.
There's probably a bunch on there as well. All right. Any other math questions? All right, guys, have a good day. As soon as this
Thank you.
converts.
Thank